Look at this, a Diablo SV with over 80,000 kilometers on it. The owner daily drives this car, takes it to the shops, lets his wife take it off for the weekend, and we're gonna find out why he bought the car, what it's like to service it, live with it, and of course, go for a drive in it. Let's go. So right here, I'm with the owner. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Peter.
And this is your SV.
SV, 1997 Diablo SV.
With a lot of miles on it.
With a lot of miles, nearly 84,000 kilometers and counting.
So can you tell me, why do you love this car?
This car, well, the Diablo for me was very special. I drove a very early Diablo when I was about 18 years old. A very good friend of mine had one, a two-wheel drive one. I fell in love with the Diablo. He used to own a Testarossa as well, and that was the first Ferrari I ever drove. And then he got a Diablo, and I fell in love with it. And then 6.5 years ago, I got the opportunity to buy this car and haven't looked back.
So tell me, how did you get in a position to buy this car?
So the long story is, my first Ferrari I bought when I was about 26, a Ferrari Testarossa, and at the time no one wanted a Ferrari Testarossa. And the one I had was in yellow, so it is even more undesirable. And I paid, it was a left-hand drive car, we found it in Switzerland, and we paid about £22,000 at the time. And I loved it, absolutely adored it. When it came to the UK, it needed quite a lot of work, it needed new tyres, a big service, but I then used the car as a daily car for every time, every occasion, any moment I could use a car, I'd use the car. I'd use it going to work, going to the supermarket, going to the rubbish dumps to take rubbish away.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
In the Ferrari?
In the Ferrari. I got a few looks, admittedly. People don't take cars like that to rubbish dump, but it was a car. And while my other car was off the road during the winter, I had to use the car for over Christmas and the New Year for 3 months because my other car was off the road, so I used to commute to work in it. And then the market went crazy about 10 years ago for Testarossas. They suddenly went bananas, and I thought it's quite a good time to maybe look at selling the car, maybe get into something else. So I sold the car and then bought a Series 1 Gallardo Superleggera, which I adored. In orange, low wing, the full Alcantara interior with the carbon, the harnesses as well, and adored the car. Again, used that as a daily car, to and from work, took it on track. We use it as a normal car. And then in November 2019, this car came up. I've been looking at the car for quite the whole of 2019. It was for sale, and I've been watching the price go up and down, and then suddenly the price was very attractive. So I made an inquiry, we agreed to a deal on the car, part exchanging my car, the Superleggera, for this, and here we are now.
And that's how you got the Diablo?
And how I got the Diablo SV, and this is how we are now.
Now, you've driven this car for the last 6 years. What is it like to own and live with?
To live with, obviously, you're very conscious of the size, but compared to modern day supercars, it's not really that big. Actually, the Gallardo I struggled more with from a width point of view. It's quite a deceiving car, the Gallardo, because it's actually a lot wider than you think. This is still quite wide, but it's actually a bit like driving a Testarossa to a certain degree. The visibility isn't great on an SV because obviously you have no rear window, so you have to make use of the mirrors as much as possible. So
you've got that to look through and nothing
on the back.
Here.
There's absolutely nothing around the back. All you can see out the rear window is the beautiful engine and the grille. That's all you're going to see. The other problem with this car, you can never park it straight. If you're parallel parking the car, you think you've got the perfect angle, but it's always at the front sticking out or the back sticking out, so you can never parallel park it straight. But you forgive it.
Yeah,
you do forgive it. But as a car itself, I said, we use this car. I take my kids to the supermarket. We used to park in the parent spot, but we can't get away with that now because my kids are a little bit older. But we used to park it in there, and people would look at us thinking you can't park there. But I'd have the child seat in the front, so then people would kind of retract what they said.
Now, owning this car, have you had a lot of maintenance costs?
Maintenance-wise, look, these are big boy cars. I'm I work at a company called Auto Facina. They maintain Ferraris, Maseratis and Lamborghinis, one of the biggest independents in the UK. I still pay to get my car maintained. Maintenance wise, you've got to keep on top of the maintenance, service it every year, oil change at least minimum. But every now and again, you've got to have quite a big service, that spark plugs, fuel filters, changing the belts. This car, when I bought the car, needed the head gaskets doing, so I knew that needed doing. So I had the head gaskets done, I had the heads rebuilt, new valve guides put in there.
Wow.
So that was like quite an extensive work.
Yeah, I can imagine the bill on that would not be cheap.
It's a sizable bill, you know, it is a sizable bill, and you know, but the thing is, these cars do need its maintenance. You've got to remember, at some point these cars were considered cheap. They went down to very low, £30,000 in the UK, and when they were that sort of money, people weren't maintaining them as much. Yeah. And now it's worth investing the money in maintaining these cars.
I mean, I'm only 22, so I can't even really remember the cars being that cheap. When I was growing up, they were like 70, 80 already. They were not 30, but that must be insane. You remember when it was 30 grand?
I mean, I remember when things like 355s were in the low 20s, 348s were sort of in the very early 20s as well. And the market just wasn't there, but obviously things have changed. The cars have now become much appreciated. The Diablos really in the last few years have gone bananas around the world. Yeah. And they're finally coming to their own. Yeah. It won't stop me from using the car by any means. I will continue to use the car as much as possible.
I mean, that was going to be my next question, is does it make you nervous that this car is worth, I'd say, at least 4 times more than what you paid for it?
I'm very aware of the values of the cars now, but for me, the enjoyment I get is worth more than the value of the car. You know, as I said, I use the car, I share it, I go to a lot of events, and for me, that's priceless. Yeah, that is priceless from what, you know, for me.
Yeah. Well, do you mind if we start it up and go for a ride?
We can start it, absolutely.
All right, let's go. What a sick car. Oh my gosh. All right, we're in the Diablo, and it is so massive inside for me. Like, look how much room I have. Full, almost could stretch all the way out. I mean, it's hard to put in perspective just how big it is for me. And then for you, it's not very big.
No, you're a bit, if you're tall like me, it's a little bit crouched, but.
Oh, the kid. He's freaking out. Wow. Is it quite scary to drive?
Not really. I mean, I've been driving these cars since I was about 17, 18, so I'm used to it, but you're still aware it will bite you. Yeah. It can bite you.
How on earth were you driving these at 18? Like, was it a different world? Am I missing something?
No, not at all. I said one of my best friends, I used to be heavily into the Lancia scene, and I used to drive a Lancia Y10, which is essentially like an Italian hatchback that was a competitor of the Fiat Uno, and they were quite rare in the UK. And my friend, who I became friends with, his girlfriend at the time had one, and I supplied him with parts for the car, and we just became really good friends. And then he had a Testarossa, so I remember going out in it about 17, 18 years old, and he then one day said, take the keys and let me drive it.
Wow, that must have been insane.
It was crazy at 18 years old, driving around in a Ferrari Testarossa, and then he bought the Diablo, and we used to do track days in the Diablo and in the Testarossa, and it was just magical times. You know, at that age, driving those cars, I mean, was just kind of unheard of, really.
Yeah, I can't imagine that, especially around here in England. Like,
yeah, absolutely, and obviously this is where you learn the turning circle is rubbish.
A U-turn at the roundabout.
Because the turning circle is poor on it.
I didn't know it was that poor though.
But it is a tractor, come on, so. but the acceleration on this, and you get the whole intake noise from the intakes on the back of the car, the whole excitement. It's just, the SV is magical. The one my friend had was a early two-wheel drive car, which is obviously very raw, no power steering, the brakes are, well, you might brake if you're lucky, and that's a very different driving experience. So the SV is a little bit more refined, if you can call it that, compared to the two-wheel drive. But they're both very different animals in some respects. The purists obviously do like the two-wheel drive. The SV is a sweet spot. The SE30 is the one which I think is the real collector piece for a lot of people now. The SE30. The GT is I love the GT. I adore the GT. The Roadster, they drive very well. Obviously, a very different driving experience as well. The VT, not driven so many VTs, if I'm honest. The SVR, a friend of mine, Alex, who lives in Germany, he lent me his SVR, and that was great fun. That was awesome. That was really a lot of fun.
Is it true that the SV was cheaper than a VT when it came out?
It was. The SV, basically, in the UK, they were struggling with sales in the UK for Diablos, and the concept came up to make a club sport version, so to speak, and that's how the SV was born. So intrinsically, it was the cheapest Diablo at the time.
But now they're worth quite a bit more than
now they suddenly shot up. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the record state 346 were made. Is that correct? I don't know.
I wouldn't trust it.
I fully wouldn't trust it. No, absolutely. With my car being a yellow right-hand drive, 13 came to the UK. One was exported, and one was written off back in the day. So that leaves 11 cars. I don't know how many are still left in the UK, I'm not sure. But officially there was 13 UK right-hand drive yellow cars.
I mean, this is so cool. What I love about this is the full Alcantara, everything. The doors, it's all, the seats, the carpet, like literally, center console, everything is Alcantara.
The very, very early SVs, they came with a carbon style door card and center console, but apparently a lot of the early owners complained about the noise because it was a bit too much. But there are a few out there. I don't know if the UK's cars still have them with Alcantara, with carbon fibre doors still left over. This one I think was potentially retrimmed, because if you look at the colour of the Alcantara, it's slightly different. So it may have been trimmed back in the day, I don't know. But I am in touch with the technician who PPI'd the car from new.
Really?
Yeah.
He's still around?
He's still around here. He's still working independently. I'm also in touch with the UK sales manager as well, who sold the car new. So I can trace the history. And also when I bought the car, I looked at the original service book, and it had the name of the original owner.
Yeah.
I looked him up online when I bought the car, and he had an unusual surname, a bit like me. Obviously not the same surname as me, that would be very weird. But he had an unusual surname. So I done a bit of Googling. I found a company that he was related to. Maybe it was him. I sent an email to this company, and that evening I had an email back from him saying, yeah, that was my car new.
Wow.
So yeah, he was a serial Lamborghini collector back in the day.
Have you met up with him since?
I haven't met up with him, sadly. I need to drop him another message, but he does have some pictures of the car, but they are physical pictures, so I'm hoping at some point he might be able to share those with me, which would be amazing. Yeah. So I have traced a lot of the history on the car, which is quite cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. If you had one piece of advice for someone that wants to buy and own and live with one of these, what would it be? Just do it.
Yeah. If you can afford to do it, do it. If you can't afford to do it, just work as much as you can to make it happen, because the cliche saying of working hard, everyone says that, but it really does pay off.
Yeah.
It really does. The journey is difficult sometimes, and you can have ups and you can have downs, but the reward is there if you make it happen.
Would you go into debt for one?
No, I don't think it's a good idea to go in debt in any car. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. And we can wave at Maranello as well while we're here.
Driving past Ferrari.
I used to look in that showroom when I was growing up, so it can still happen.
And now you're in a Diablo.
Now I'm in a Diablo. I haven't taken my Diablo there because it would be a bit wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I would go there the first week. Well, thank you so much for taking the ride. I appreciate it. And if you want to be in one of these videos, you can submit your car. There's a link in the description. That's actually how we connected.
Yeah.
It was because you filled out the form, and that's how we're doing this video right now.
A big thanks to Ian for that as well.
Shout out to Ian. I did a video with him and his Diablo VT about a year ago now. So thank you, Ian, for connecting us and sending the form link. Anyways, never ever quit on your dreams. Remember, God loves you. See you in the next video.